be more than human.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is J.R. Carroll. I am the author of the More Than Human novels, and today we are going to be reviewing Mercy of Gods by James S.A. Corey. Now, most know him from the Expanse, and oddly enough, I have not read that series yet. I know they're really big books, and I do plan on getting to them. But I saw this book coming out, and I was like, hey, the title sounds interesting, and it's the first in a series. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a standalone, but it is part of a new series, and it is a space opera, and I love me some space opera. My favorite series of all time in sci-fi is Expeditionary Force. So I was all over this. Now I'm going to keep this almost completely spoiler free. The only things that you will kind of hear me talk about is things that you can read in the back of the book and just little tidbits here or there that won't ruin anything for you because it just came out. So humanity has expanded out into the galaxy, and we are kind of researchers right now. That's the big thing that we're doing, is just trying to find out the mysterious universe that we live in and its past, and we were still waiting for contact. And of course, when it comes, it's nothing like we wanted it to be. You have these super advanced aliens called the Karax, and they come down and basically overrun us so quickly we can't do anything about it. And they kind of give us a chance. They're like, hey, we're gonna kill 1/8 of the entire race here on this planet of 3 billion people, just to prove that we can. And of course, like a snap of a finger, 1/8 of our population is gone.
Not like this. Not like this.
And so they're like, are you taking us seriously now? And these creatures, they don't look like humans. Some of them, they're a whole different, but the main ones that we run into kind of look like centipede spiders in a way. Kind of, they're all armored up and robotic and stuff. But what they do is say, we want your best and brightest. And so they, collect up all of our best scientists and researchers and theologians and all that stuff, and they ship them away. This kind of reminds me of what we did in Germany in the 40s. Just scraping up all the best scientists, right? But as the scientists and researchers, make it onto the ships and whatnot, they figure out that they are in a fight for survival, a survival of the fittest. They end up in this kind of free-for-all battle on this ship where these Caraxes have collected a bunch of different races, and all they tell us is, you need to be useful to us. And so I'm not going to tell you too much, but it's all about kind of us figuring out what they mean by useful. Now, underneath all this is the ancient enemy of them, which is the hive. They call them like the hive. It's like a hive mind, body snatcher type thing. And one thing that he does here that is very cool is, as this entity infects someone, there's an inner dialogue that goes on, which I found super appealing, and I wish that he would have done more of that, because I found that to be probably the most appealing thing within this book. But it is really interesting. Both sides seem to be super powerful, right? We don't know how to take down, the cracks, but the hive is also super powerful. They just kind of allude to what they are capable of. So it's really a big setup, I think, for book two to be more of the hive centered book. Will probably be book two. It took me a little while to get used to James S. A. Corey's prose and his writing style. It, as I got about halfway through, I started to kind of click with it and stuff. But at first, he almost seems like, a very detailed fantasy writer in a science fiction setting. And that kind of threw me off. I'm more used to kind of authors being more kind of loose in their writing when it comes to space operas. And what he did try to do is he tried to use a lot of humor and stuff, which does happen in most space operas. There's a lot of humor, but he didn't use the humor at the beginning. It was kind of pretty dark at the very start, and then he tried to start using humor later in the book, and I just found like the humor didn't really land for me. I did enjoy the second half of the book much more than the first half, and it was enough that I will be reading the second book. But like I said, I don't do star ratings, but this book was good. I'm hoping and I believe that the second book will be even better if he can just pick up right where he left off with the writing. Maybe it's just a new story. He wrote The Expanse forever. So maybe it was just something new, kind of getting used to trying to do this new story. But let me know, have you read Mercy of Gods yet? Are you wanting to read into it? Do you like James S. A. Corey? If you've read both The Expanse and this book, throw down in the comments. Let me know, are they super similar? Is it a totally different thing? Eventually I will get to The Expanse. But again, make sure you like, subscribe, but more importantly, be more than human.